All right, lads, welcome back to me podcast, Cheaper Than Therapy. Mick Thomas here. How are you? Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing, coming on back. Check it out wherever your podcasts are available. Also, check out my other podcast, Them Anxiety Show, with my good buddy, Corey Brooks. Again, available wherever you get your podcast from. Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Doesn't matter. It's there. Both of them. So thanks for checking them out. If you're going to YouTube and you're watching, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Whatever you like. Throw in a comment there. Tell me what you like. What you didn't like. I'll make sure it goes to upper management and we'll get your problem fixed right away. I just got back. I'm after breaking my water bottle there. I just got back. I'm hoping the dog, by the way, doesn't start off barking again. I can't help it. He lives in here. He's in this room. So he's just turned into one of those dogs now that I hate, where they just bark. I don't hate my dog, but I hate that type of dog that just barks at any fucking thing that goes by the house. I know, he's protecting your house, but every time he yells now, I tell him I'm going to bring him back to the shelter where I got him from. Is that cruel? My mother used to do that when she was mad. Did you ever have a mother who used to do that? My old Irish mother, you'd be fighting with your brothers or whatever. That's it, I'm packing my bags and leaving here. No, ma, don't go. Not knowing you'd end up in years of therapy just for that little threat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm packing my bags, I'm fucking leaving this house. And you and your brothers would cry and your sisters would cry. Oh, we'll be good, ma, don't, I'm sorry. And that's what I do with my dog. I end up in years of therapy that doesn't work, apparently, according to Andrew Tate. It's funny, did you ever see Andrew Tate? Do you know who he is? He's all over, I think he became famous from TikTok. I don't know much about him. I actually like him. I like some of the stuff he says. He's one of those guys now that's getting in trouble. He's very not anti-woman, but anti-women's behaviour type of thing. You know what I mean? And he's like got half an American accent, half an English accent. And the funny thing is, when you watch his comments, they're like, oh, your accent is so sexy. He's actually from, it sounds like it's a Yorkshire accent from England, Andrew Tate has. You know, and if you know anything about Yorkshire is the most, it's probably the most made fun of accent in all of England, is the Yorkshire accent. It's kind of like if someone from Alabama, I'm just going to randomly pick Alabama, went to France. You know what I mean? Can you tell us there where that Louvre thing is? Oh, your accent is so sexy. Can you say something like hamburger? That's right, Bongo. You know what I mean? That's what the Yorkshire accent is, but of course Americans don't know the difference. Americans go, oh my god, his accent's so cool. And he shits on everything. Shits on women, shits on, therapy. He says therapy doesn't work. You know, therapy doesn't work. You need to stop being a pussy, stop getting therapy. Go out there, live your life. So tell that to the lads who's, got legs and limbs blown off from being in military combat, who are at these therapy sessions for treating the PTSD, to realise that they are not the problem. They are not just tools of the government to go out and assassinate other people in the country, that they themselves are not responsible, but they are just human lives. But they don't need therapy, according to Andrew. That's not, what you need therapy for. You don't need therapy. I like what he says. It's funny. But just not, I think he's wrong on certain things, but, whatever. Fill your boots. Apparently girls hate him, and they're breaking up with their boyfriends for liking him. That's the weird thing, too. But, I guess there's some truth in what the lad is saying. I'm sure he's a nice lad. But, so this week I was in... Where was I? I just got back from Ohio. I was in Dublin, Ohio, and I was in Columbus, Ohio. And, Columbus, Ohio was, it was great. It was a good time. We went to the Funny Bone. Shout out to the Funny Bone, all the staff and the management and everybody that came out to the show. It was a great time. It was a great show. I was out there with my buddies, fellow Irishmen, fellow off the boat paddies, Dave Nihill and Sean Finnerty. I didn't pause. I was reading something on the fridge. Dave Nihill and Sean Finnerty, to my fellow Irish brethren, and we went out and we had a blast, and we did that, and we did Columbus, Ohio, and then we're in Dublin, Ohio, which is, like, I always think that about America, like, your towns, sometimes you'll name towns and you're very lazy how you name them. You name them after just things that have already existed. Dublin, Ohio, you know what I mean? Like, I was in State College in Pennsylvania. State College. Like, you just basically named the town after something that was in the town. You know what I mean? Because there was a school there. You're like, just fucking call it State College. Like, I think if that college wasn't there, the town would just be called Target or Walmart. CVS. That would be a good name of town. Yeah, you go. You would. Were you performing this weekend? CVS. That's just lazy naming. But Dublin, Ohio, we were there for the biggest Irish festival ever. The biggest Irish festival in the world, which I would say Ireland is the biggest Irish festival, right? Isn't it? There's more Irish people in Ireland than there are at the festival, but hundreds of thousands of people showed up. I didn't think it was that big. Hundreds of thousands of people showed up, and we were in a nice little theater, the three of us, and we had a blast. And it was kind of cool, you know. We go, but if I'm trying to figure out the order and to tell you these stories, but when we got to Dublin, and you know, you get a shuttle bus from the hotel back to the gigs, and once you go backstage, like, we got to see some of the coolest bands from Ireland, bands I'm fans with, and then you get to hang out with them, and it's kind of cool, and you get all these backstage passes, and you go up onto the stage, you know, where you're on the side of the wings of the stage, and you're looking out at a sea full of people, and it's very hard to go back once you kind of get into the entertainment business, right? And you get a taste of doing the things that you know, that you don't get to do. It's very hard to go back. Like when you're watching one of your favorite Irish bands, like Gaelic Storm, great band, and we're up on the wings and we're having drinks up there with them, and you're, you know, high-fiving them and whatever it is. And then, like, I can't imagine going back out into the crowd and standing amongst the people, the smelly people pushing against you, you know? It's kind of like Steve Harvey had a thing about that. He was saying, like, he always used to fly first class, even though he couldn't afford it, because once you fly first class once, you're kind of rolling the ball of how you're going to live your life. So treat yourself to first class always, and then you'll never be able to, you know, then you'll never want to go back, and therefore you'll work harder so you can afford that first class. And I like Steve Harvey. I'm a big fan of his. I mean, that was a long answer on Family Feud, right? Family Feud, or if you're listening in Ireland, Family Fortunes, same show. Remember that show? Like, Family Feud used to always just start off, or Family Fortunes. It would be a normal question, you know, like, name 5 things that you would find in the back seat of your car, and people would name it. And then it kind of got into innuendos, didn't it? Like, the show evolved into innuendos so Steve could react. I don't know, 5 things that you might want to do with a banana, and the whole audience would, like, oh, you know, kind of just hinting. And now he's not even trying anymore. Now Steve Harvey just walks in and he just goes, name 5 things you would shove in your arse. And that's basically what it is now. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Looking for a fist, ding, and yeah. So, but anyway, you get to go back, and you don't live those things anymore. You know, you know, it's kind of very hard to go back now to just watch. Like, if I want to go see a band now, like, I don't want to stand in the crowd in a field with the rest of them. I was spoiled. But Dublin, Ohio, I have to say, man, I had a great time at the shows, but there's nothing to do in your town. There's nothing to do in your town. You people must live for a good old festival. In the hotel, no car rental. All I did was I would walk to Subway, which is next door to it. And that was it. Couldn't eat. I ate like shit. So I went to the gym this morning and just worked out like a fan. You could feel the flab jiggling up and down for the damage I did to it over the weekend. No healthy food at all in the whole town. Couldn't get anything anywhere. But the shows were great. The people were great. But we got to hang out. You know, it's funny because we were sitting there at the end of the night. We came back in, and I just said, "Hey, Mick, come here." And in the hotel lobby, Sean and Dave are sitting there with all these band members and friends of the band. So I end up sitting next to this big, muscular Marine, a former Marine. Apparently, this guy was also a baseball player, and he was in the Hall of Fame. I don't know what order, if he quit baseball to be a Marine, or he finished his Marine and went to become a baseball player. Big fucking massive burly lad in a kilt, and he sat next to me. And listen, I've been in enough situations in my life where I know what's happening, where they'll start to kind of go toe to toe with a comedian and they'll try to outwit us with like insults, you know what I mean? Like kind of just a bit of slagging, we call it, or a bit of slagging, a bit of ribbing, as they say, you know, a bit of clapping back, as they say over here. And he would try it, you know, and then I would come back with stuff. And then he didn't like it, and his missus would laugh at it, and he didn't like that. And then I kind of just, you know, he comes back with those insults that are those kind of jokes, air quotes, that are, you could tell there's a little bit of truth to it. So I just lean into Dave and I go, listen, man, I'm going to bed. I've smelt this before. I've been in these situations where I could smell a fight brewing. And I just text Sean the same thing. Sean was in the other side of the circle. And I just got up and I went to bed. And then Sean calls me at 1 a.m. He was like, yeah, this fucking fella. He started at Sean and basically it nearly turned into something. So Sean also went to bed. But, yeah, he's some guy from Nashville, I think he was. But some Hall of Fame baseball player with a little dick complex, I suppose. But it was fun. It was fun. Like I said, the gigs were great. You know, the food was great. And we just had a blast. But going back home, it was kind of shitty because I hadn't been sleeping at all the weekend, so I'm fucking exhausted. And I like to think of me as a man with patience now. You know, I used to come on here, you listen to old episodes, and fuck this guy and this guy, I'll fucking lose your temper. And a lot of patience I would consider myself, but that guy disappeared because I got no sleep. You know, I was going to say I was hungry, but I wasn't. I was eating shit food, so I can't say I was hangry. But I was sleeping. And then what happened was, so the festival was supposed to send someone to pick me up at 4:30 because I had a 6 o'clock flight, and so you had to be at the airport at 5. Southwest, easy peasy, little airport. The driver never turned up. I called him, never answered his phone. I'm like, fuck me. What? I mean, look, I wouldn't have picked me up either because everyone who does the driving, they're all volunteers in the town. What are you going to do? Not hire him and not pay him money again next year? No, you're not going to do it. They're volunteers. I wouldn't go to bed at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning to pick some Irish fucker up to bring him to the airport. No way. Not doing it. Not happening. So I go to cut, and there's another guy waiting to get some musician waiting to go back to, and he goes, he's supposed to be picked up in the same thing. So I call an Uber. Now I'm cutting the fine. The Uber's 15 minutes away. The Uber's like $40-something. And now I'm stressed. I don't mind the $40-something, but I'm stressed. Gotta fucking get there. Gotta get there. Now I'm cutting my time down. I'm not going to be there. Now I get there 10 minutes before the plane is boarding. So I know I'm going to be late. Hurry up. Where's this guy? He pulls up. And then the other guy who I said, yeah, you can come along with me. As the guy pulls up, he runs back into the lobby and starts bringing out bag after bag. The guy can't get it in. And I never lose my temper. I go, mate, I gotta go. I have to go. I called the Uber. And then the guy who didn't have any English at all, I was like, we gotta go. Please, get in the car and let's go. So the guy gets in the car. I don't know where he's, some guy from Mayo, some fucking banjo player. And then we get in the car, and the guy, Spanish-speaking guy, you know, I'm sure he was lovely, but I just wasn't in the mood for his music. Now, I love Spanish music. I do. I love it. Nice, soft music, but the popular Spanish music that the kids are listening to today, I don't get it. It's every song, to me, sounds the same. The same fucking thing over and over again. That's all it is. And you're fucking that's not a word of Spanish, by the way, in case you're thinking, I wonder what song that is. And I'm like, fuck. So I go, Mick, can you turn that down, please? I'm losing. I can't. Guy turns it down, right? Oh fuck! You know what? Now that I mention it, I was in such a hurry I didn't give him a review. Oh shit! I gotta go back in, give him a tip and a review. Oh, Mick, that's terrible. Anyway, so I get to the airport, and the lines are wrapped. Now this is where, like, I would find peace and calmness. I go, it's okay. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. And people are at the airport are nice in Columbus, Ohio. They're nice at the airport there. They're not pushy. They're not yelling. They're not rude like they are in all the New York ones. They're just like, hey, how we do? Where are you going today? Are you? Oh, that's awesome. Right? And I'm like, yeah, look, that's nice. Let them have it. And even though I was in a hurry, I would have been kind of like just going, yeah, that's okay. It's okay. She's just talking as they're moving. But now the old me kicked back in again. And I, you know what I mean? Like, why do you care about their vacation? Who gives a shit? They went to Columbus, Ohio on a vacation. That's not a vacation. Why would you answer? Just move. And then I'm like, someone comes up in a wheelchair, and I'm like, oh yeah, of course this person's going to take fucking forever to go. Like, I'm mad at everything. I get on, I eventually get through security, get through customs. The plane is already boarded, right? I had maybe, like, they'd already started, so I barely get on the plane. And as I get on, it's funny. I get on, and I'm sitting next to this woman. Weird. Front seat, aisle. Usually it's taken. So I sit down there, because Southwest, you don't pick your seat. You just plop your arse down. And the woman comes out, so you're like, all right, better calm down. I've made it. Calm down. Back to nice guy. Back to patience. Back to nice guy. Still, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. So they're stand up, and it's one of the only flights where they still stand up and do the demonstration, you know, with the seatbelt goes here and click, click, click. Which is funny because, isn't it the most important thing of the flight is that instructions of what to do in emergency, and no one listens. No one gives these people, like, they're literally speaking to themselves. Like, I'm not using the last few moments of non-airplane Wi-Fi, which is usually shit. Watching you know, it's probably the most important job, and we don't listen. You know what I mean? I don't think I've ever been in the history of flying and you're sitting there talking to somebody, and then, no, hang on, one second. What was that? I missed it now. Thanks very much. I missed what the lady was saying. You better hope we don't crash on water. No one's ever done it. Had a break in Baltimore, right? I get to Baltimore. Now, before I get to Baltimore, let me tell you a story. I'm on Long Island. Now I'm Quentin Tarantino on the story, going back. Flying from Long Island to Columbus, Ohio. I'm walking through the airport, and all I hear is, "Hey Mick, how are you?" Guy recognized me long time ago. Didn't remember him from a hole in the wall. And I'm like, "Yeah, how's it going, man?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, we're going." And he's with his husband or boyfriend, and he goes, "Where are you going to cruise?" And he was like, "No, he said, "We're going on a cruise." Like, "Oh, you're going on a gay cruise?" And he went, just a cruise. Like, why would it be a gay cruise? You know what I mean? Why can't it just be a cruise? Like, that's how fucking dumb I am. Like, or in that time in the morning, just ignorant, tired, rude. I was like, yeah, just a regular cruise. Oh, not a gay. All right, I thought it was you're going on a gay cruise. That's fine. So I'm talking to him, and then we get to Baltimore. I'm hungry, really hungry. Now, in Baltimore Airport, if you've ever been there, they've got a huge diner. It's like it's an authentic looking diner, like it was just on the street in New York, but it's in the airport. And I was like, I got some time to kill, about an hour. Like, I go and get an omelet or something. Like, oh, this looks good. And then, of course, the guy gets off with his husband or boyfriend. He's like, "Hey, we're going to go to the diner." I'm like, I'm all right. Fuck. Right. So now I'm looking for something to eat. Now, here's where it gets weird. I see Chick-fil-A. Never had Chick-fil-A before. Not once in my life. Never experienced it. I hear it's the greatest thing ever. But I don't go there, and I can't go there because my daughter's friends with a lot of the LGBTQT people. I am too, of course, friends with them, but like the kids are very forceful and they stand up. My adult friends who are gay and trans and whatever, they don't care as long as they, you know, they're like, "How do you treat me?" That's all that matters, as it should. But my daughter, out of protest, doesn't let you go to Chick-fil-A because apparently Chick-fil-A are anti-gay. You can't, you know, they don't open up on a Sunday. That's their business model. But my daughter said, "Oh yeah, they send money to gay conversion therapy centers." And so I don't want to upset her, but you know, so I just see Chick-fil-A. I'm like, fuck it, I'll go. And I order a sandwich and I sit down and I'm holding the chicken sandwich in my hand and I haven't taken a bite of it. Now, I'm sure it's not as good as the restaurant, right? Airport version of Burger King is not the same. Airport McDonald's is not the same. So I sit down, and as I'm sitting down, up walks the gay couple, and they just give me a look. They just throw me a look, and I'm like, that's not... Look, if the sandwich is as good as people say, like, it doesn't mean I have to agree with their belief. Like, I think if Hitler made a sandwich that was fucking delicious, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to not eat the most delicious sandwich just because Hitler made it. It doesn't mean I approve of his message and all the things he likes to do. If he makes a good fucking... If Osama bin Laden made a great... If he had a great sandwich out, I'd be like, oh man, that's a bit too much what you did there. You shouldn't have done that with those towers. But I tell you one thing, it's a fucking mean sandwich you make. It's a mean sandwich, man. So I didn't eat it. I put it down. I got stared at, so I went to fucking Jamba Juice. And that was... You know, what was the point? What was the point? So I flew back, and now I'm back next week in Minnesota for their Irish festival with me, Dave, and Sean again. So if you're around, check it out. Also, November 24th, 25th, I am in New Smyrna Beach in Florida, Madcap Comedy Club, where I'll be taping a special in that club, mixing it up a bit. But anyway, I have to go. I'm fucking dying with a headache. Thanks for listening, liking, subscribing, and share it. Let me know. Share it out there. Thanks so much for listening, lads. I appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. And as always, wash your hands, you dirty fuckers. Good luck to you.